St. Paul today reminds us that the virtue of love lies at the heart of Christian spirituality. No matter what good works we perform or what contributions we may make, if love is not present at the heart of these actions, then these actions will lack the essential Christian character and fail in its ultimate purpose. For example, you can say, a person may be the greatest of preachers, but if his listeners sense that he lacks love, then they will less likely follow these words, and his sermons will be ineffective. And this, you could say, is similar to a teacher who has the greatest knowledge, but if he shows no care or concern for the welfare of his students, he will not be able to impart that knowledge to them, as his lack of concern for the students will draw a negative reaction from them and render his teachings ineffective. And this was one of the problems that Jesus saw in the people of his generation in today's gospel. Those who played the pipes and sang dirges, but received no reaction. The ingredient that was lacking was love, because whether it was John the Baptist fasting or Jesus eating with tax collectors and sinners, all these people did was to criticize. Love was the missing ingredient in all that they did. And this is, I think, one of the things that Jesus points out. Now today, as we honor Pope Cornelius and Bishop Cyprian, we do not just simply recognize them as martyrs and they're dying for Christ. We also recognize them as martyrs for the love that they bore as Christians, for the encouragement, support that they gave to one another, as well as to the members of the church. It's true, of course, that they both gave up their lives in their love for Christ and for the faith. However, they also had much love in their hearts for those that were afraid of the persecution and renounced their faith. So during that time, there were people during the middle there of the 3rd century who kept to the faith and were martyred. But then there were also people who decided to renounce the faith out of fear. And so one of the questions that arose during this period of persecution, during the middle of the 3rd century, was whether these apostates who have repented should be welcomed back into the church. And at that time, there was a group led by an anti-pope by the name of Novatian, who was adamant that apostates should not be welcomed back into the church, even if they had repented. However, out of love, Cornelius and Cyprian rejected Novatian's view and made way for the return of apostates to the church. And so we can see that they not only witnessed in their lives to martyrdom, but also in their love for the people of God. And so we pray that through the intercession of Saints Cornelius and Cyprian, we may allow the virtue of love to operate at the heart of all that we do as Christians. Only in that way will our work be true to the one in whom we proclaim the good news to all, be true to Jesus Christ.